Hello and welcome to Take Flight Live with Phoenix Stage Company, an award-winning 100% volunteer community theater organization located in Oakville, Connecticut. I'm Ed Bass, Director of Phoenix Stage Company, and your host here with Tim Phillips. Say hello, Tim.
Hello!
That was lovely.
Thank you. I practiced that all week.
Very nice. Hello. Also in the room with us today, we have Michael Calabrese, our technical producer. Al Hathaway is here and about.
Yep.
And our live studio audience.
Yay!
Grandma's in the house.
Grandma in the house.
Grandma's in the house. And woo!
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Mrs. Hilper is
Mrs.
in the
Hilper, okay.
is in the house.
I didn't realize that was the code.
It is. So I'm going to tell you the story of who. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Your grandma is vertically challenged.
Yes.
She's on a smaller stature, as is Mrs. Hilpert.
Yes.
And oftentimes they would go shopping and they would get separated and you couldn't see each other above the racks. And so they would go, woo, because neither could whistle. Is that correct? Can you whistle? There you go. So, and Lori Poulin is in the house, also known as Lydia Cleft.
The Lydiator.
Yeah, she has the week off, so she decided to come and be in our studio audience.
Nice. It's so great to see Lori in person for a change.
Excited.
Yes. You need something to drink. I have something here.
Yeah, but we also.
Oh, yes, we have to do that first. This
we
is the
haven't done
important
this yet.
thing. Yes,
this is
true.
important.
There we go.
6 feet 2 inches.
Oh, we're a little bigger than this.
Yeah, we're a little bigger because I'm so excited.
Do you know at 6 feet, 6 feet equals 1.07 smoots. Smoots.
What's a smoot?
I'm glad you asked.
I'm glad you brought it up.
It's a Bostonian thing that if you ever lived in Boston, you would know what a smoot is. Massachusetts Avenue Bridge that spans the Charles River from downtown to Cambridge. There's measurements on the bridge and they're called smoots. And what happened, I had to look this up. In 1958, they took a Harvard student, his name was Smoot. They laid him down across the bridge, one at a time, to measure the bridge. And it became a unit of measurement.
So
and if you go
Smoot
today,
was obviously 6 feet tall.
he was 5'7".
Wait.
So that's why I said we're 1.07.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the bridge is actually, just so you know, it's 364.4 smoots long. It was done in 1958, and I was in college there in 1970 something, and I walked across this bridge. I'm like, what's a smoot? And then that's when I found out the story about the Massachusetts Avenue.
Whatever
Bridge.
became of Smoot, do you think?
I don't know, but he was a college student in 1958, so who knows? But it's a great story. If you're ever in Boston and going for a walk, it's down by Beacon Street. Go across, or at least go to the edge of the bridge and see it's all painted. And they keep repainting it over the years.
And is it like a body outline, like a crime scene?
No, just a line,
just
like
a
ruler.
Smoot.
One smoot, everything like.
And they need to put a plaque up to explain what a smoot is.
I think there is now.
Oh, okay.
Because it's been around for so long.
And you can go to Boston, you can go to the bridge, look at the smoots, and say, "I heard about that on Take Flight Live with Phoenix Stage Company."
Yes,
it's
so
true.
Now can we have our beer?
Yeah, I need
you
mine.
need your delivery.
Where is my beer? Delivery, Al.
Incoming.
This is my delivery.
Thank you,
Al. Al is a good man.
Gotta have our Black Hog.
That's right. We're drinking our Black Hog, and some exciting things for Black Hog tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow is the first day they're opening up something called the Grotto. And I'm very excited about this. It's an outdoor dining, eating, drinking, imbibing place. I'm assuming it's right next to where their tap room is, but it's the first time they're going to be opening up to having company around.
That's true. They are opening up outside. We're very excited. So that takes place. That opening takes place at 3:00 tomorrow afternoon, and I think it goes until 8:00.
And we'll be there.
We're going to swing by. I made them a whole bunch of masks back when this all started with their logo on them because they were looking for stuff. So I'm excited for them.
Yes.
Welcome back, Black Hog.
Really excited about that. We have some birthdays, a birthday to celebrate. Our good friend John Carter.
That's right.
His birthday is today. Today's the 30th, right?
Yes. Happy birthday, John Carter, all the way down in Florida.
But he did so many shows up here.
He's in Florida with the oranges.
Yep.
Isn't that right, man?
Bit of a bit of a sadness week as far as losing some people. Today we had the funeral for Congressman John Lewis. It was a beautiful thing to watch. We lost Olivia de Havilland this week.
We did. She was
104.
really old. Yeah.
I had to look this up. 1939 was when Gone with the Wind was done. At 104, she won 2 Oscars, had 5 Oscar nominations. If you remember from Gone with the Wind, she played Cousin Melanie in that movie. And her last movie was 1979, Five Musketeers. So that's quite a span of years for her.
It
And
is.
in fact, in 2009, when she was in her 90s, she did the voice for a documentary. She did the background on it. And then,
I will always remember her death scene in
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. Be kind to him, Scarlett. He loves you so.
Oh, yes.
I never understood why she had the slight English accent.
Well,
she was
so-
from the South.
Maybe
Be kind to
the
him,
British part of
Scarlett.
South. There.
It's true. Yeah.
And then we also lost Regis Philbin this week. Regis, who I
Reg.
believe, if I'm not mistaken, has the Guinness record for most hours on television.
Well, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It was crazy.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The morning show. He was with Joey Bishop for all those years. I got thinking about that today. So the way we start a show, that's kind of like how he started his show in the morning, with Kathy or Kelly, whatever it was, just sitting there talking about what happened the week before and
It's
the
true.
day before. So that would mean, because I'm a little more cantankerous than you. So that means I'm probably the Regis and you're probably the Kathy Kelly, because you're the pretty one.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'll take pretty. Whatever.
Okay.
Right.
What
I don't
else
know.
is what else is
I wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and see my father, and that's not. Pretty.
that's a
So-
scary thing for me too.
Oh,
It happens a
oh,
lot.
Man, oh man.
How else has your week been going?
My week has just been my week.
Yeah.
We're here at the theater trying to figure out what we're going to move forward with, and I've been making masks.
Yeah.
I'm moving into the fall and Halloween styles now.
Sad
because
to say true, but
I think they're going to be with us for a while, so
Yeah.
why not keep making them and make people
I have
happy?
to say your masks are very comfortable too. You can wear them for a long period of time, and I had to from whenever you go shopping or something like that. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you like them.
Yeah.
I respond to people's requests. Lori was saying, oh, I have one that's very lightweight. Can you make another one lightweight? And so I made some special lightweight masks.
If we get into the winter and I still have to wear a mask, I want corduroy.
I've actually made some.
Really? With
Yes.
corduroy?
Yes.
Does it shush when you talk or something?
I guess if you stick your tongue out and go,
Oh.
be playing the corduroy with your tongue, that's a whole nother
That's a
thing.
different- that's
we'll
a
talk
different
to,
show.
We'll talk to Casey Ross about that sometime.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother one.
I do want to bring up something else. I don't think we mentioned in the air, but I about this. I purchased an Oculus.
Yeah,
recently.
I know. I tried to ride the roller coaster. You wouldn't let me sit down, so I was standing up and
I've-
riding this very scary 3D roller coaster and thought I was going to throw up.
I fixed
all over
that
the
so you can
TV.
actually sit down. But I was playing this Star Wars game. Here's another Disney plug. We always seem to get in every week. And it came to a point where all of a sudden I had a lightsaber, and then this droid just appeared out of nowhere, and he was like my instructor. And I was doing all this kind of stuff, and it's like, this is exactly what Rob taught me.
It is.
During
One,
Sherwood.
two,
1, 2, 3,
three,
4.
four.
And I was doing all
One,
that. It's
two.
like, Rob, you were so helpful for me. I haven't died yet in this thing. It's great.
I was doing great on that when I played it. I was playing the Oculus Star Wars, and I was doing really, really good at it. And then Darth Vader showed up, and he's so tall,
Did you push,
manly, and his voice is so deep. I just went to Jello.
did you push the buttons?
I was like, blah, 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 blah. I couldn't.
He walks right up.
I
to
was
you.
really. He does. Walks right at. Well, first the stormtrooper walked right up to me.
Oh, he was scary.
and said something, and I was all, what's going on? And then he shot me. Oh, and the thing went black and it vibrated and it was like, what did I? What just
Oh,
happened?
yeah.
So it's really the Oculus. It's kind of fun. We'll do an Oculus convention here when we can all get together.
When Darth Vader comes up, though, it's very tempting to go up to his chest and start pushing the buttons on him. I think one's a VCR recorder or something like that. I just got a brand new game. It's called the ISS. It's International Space Station, and it puts you inside and teaches you what you have to do in a floating in the air. I can't think of the word. No, you're weightless. You're weightless, and how to get around to this thing. I found that I would be a terrible astronaut because I kept banging into everything.
See, you play a lot on your time off.
Well,
I've just been writing and
this is
and
my
trying
late
to-
night stuff, you know.
I'm writing right now. I'm currently writing a play that is. I was watching movies and realized there aren't really any really good like horror plays, like to scare you, you know,
Right.
like horror stuff. So I'm writing one called The Keep, and it's kind of cool. So it's going to need a lot of light stuff out.
Oh, there you go.
A lot of lighting effects on it, just so you know. And I got to work with John Poulin on maybe some effects that'll happen in the audience, you know, kind of stuff.
Oh, like put little electronic
Buzzers on the seats, and air blasts and things to blow on you. Like, oh, what?
Just give John Poulin a choice like that, boy. He'd be all over that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Can we launch him? Can I like jump him up a little bit?
Only certain seats.
Oh,
Yeah. Only certain seats.
We
get
charge
launched.
extra for those.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's it. I've been writing and making masks and watching movies occasionally. And then my cat got 2 teeth pulled today. Seamus.
Seamus. Is he?
Yeah.
But he's doing better.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Well, that was a big thing for him, though. He had been sick for a while.
He was sick. On a previous podcast, we talked about him being in the hospital for 3 days. And since then, he's been on medication.
Mm-hmm.
And today he had his teeth pulled. And he has more pain medication. That cat has more pain medication than... So he has more. What confuses me about this one is they're little tiny pills, and he just had teeth pulled, and I'm supposed to try and get the pill in his face.
Shove it down his throat.
How?
Right
He won't let
down-
me
go
near
past-
his mouth. He just had teeth pulled. How are you gonna, you know?
There's-
Any suggestions, Grandma?
They have a pill shooter, don't they? It's like this little syringe that you stick it down their throat and shoot the pill, and it goes right in.
He won't let you near his mouth. He
Well,
just had his
then-
teeth pulled, and he's all saliva and stuff. It's kind of so. If anybody out there has any suggestions on how I can get this cat to take a tiny, tiny little pill when I can't get near his face,
Oh.
you can text it, you know, or message it or something, and Michael will
It
yell
could be
out for
worse.
us.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could be a suppository.
Easier to get to.
That's true.
Easier to get to because that cat, he jumps up on the arm of my chair and he always turns with his butt in my face.
Well,
I just have to like this, boop,
there
and
you
then,
go.
and then he runs.
You got it.
It's the
I feel better.
wow. Yeah, no, I don't have that kind of relationship with my cat, Tim. But thank
Okay.
you very much.
We should probably get to our theme.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Well, tonight we're discussing to perform or not to perform, and our guest is WATR morning host Tom Chute. Also, King Louie is here tonight. He's going to be with us again to give us his view on the world, and of course, we'll be playing jargon and gymnastics with Tom Chute, and we'll share good news from around the globe.
Absolutely.
So, to perform or not to perform, just clarify a little bit. We talked about jumping in, but that was just strictly talking about getting on the stage. When I talk about to perform or not to perform, I'm talking about being outgoing and being not unafraid to get in front of people, whether it's on stage, whether it's in front of a camera, in front of a crowd, doing a speech, almost anything. It's hard for a lot of people.
Well, I think it's always there, right? I think that little flame is always in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It just somebody needs to give it a bunch of oxygen. You need to get pushed off the cliff, you know? I mean, I was not outgoing as a child.
No.
At all.
The
And
shock is registering all over our comments right now.
my senior year of high school, like, you know, I was in the chorus all through high school, but I was always in the back, and I was in other things. I was on like the cross country ski team, so it was like you're by yourself in the woods going through snow. So it's not like no cheering crowds or anything. And my senior year, I was in the play Grease. And I had solos, and I threw up every night before that. And to go out in front of people and do that with them looking at you and not like you're the guy in the crowd.
Right.
Yeah, I threw up every night before. And then
but when did it become a natural thing for you?
Again, I think it's always there.
Yeah.
I think you just need the encouragement to go out there.
Right.
Right.
But some people seem like our guest later on when we talk to Tom, seems to be just a natural thing. He was born to be in front of people.
Well, and I think it's true. And I
And
think,
I
think,
feel like I'm that way myself.
and I am very comfortable now with that. So I
Yeah.
feel like I was born
You
with
kind of
that,
develop it,
but
then?
I think it can be developed.
Yeah.
I think the innate desire is there.
Uh-huh.
Lori Poulin is an example of this.
Oh, yeah.
She came to Phoenix Stage Company in the back, breaking mason jars on rocks
Yeah.
and things. And we were doing a production of The Adventures of Peter Cottontail.
Yeah.
And I said, I need you to go out and you're gonna do the chicken dance for the kids and do house announcements. And she went, no, no. And she would say, no, until we finally got her out there. And it was like, poof, the oxygen hit the plane.
Yeah.
And there she is. And so I think it's always there. I think you need someone to encourage you, to support you, to know that, you know what, if you fall down, we're here to pick you up, you do it again.
But it's subjective, isn't it, Lori? Because I know when you're given lines.
Yeah, I prefer improv because it just comes out of my brain.
Yep.
And there's no pressure of learning somebody else's words and other people relying on you.
Yeah. So it's kind of there. You're very comfortable. I know I watched when you've done announcements. You're very uncomfortable in front of because at Phoenix too. Let's be honest about this. When the audiences that we have here at Phoenix Stage Company during normal times, they're like a family. They're very friendly. They're welcoming for the most part. They're welcoming.
It's true.
To the people.
For anybody at home, if you didn't hear what Lori was saying, because the microphone is so far away, she was saying she preferred improv over scripted because you're not trying to say someone else's words. It's all natural and flowing. And so Sharon, they're far away from the microphone. So just to make sure everybody could hear her and what she said there. But I think that you are born with something, right?
Yeah.
And then it just needs to be nurtured, and it happens because not everyone will jump up and be successful at it. Some people will try it and not be comfortable and not want to do it again.
Let me bring up my own wife, Lori. She used to go on competitions for speech writing, and she actually won some major competitions and to go to this national competition because of her wins. And it opened up some wonderful opportunities for her. That's hard to do too, in getting in front of a crowd that you don't know and to deliver a cognitive speech, something that makes sense to everybody. And yet, Lori appeared on stage really once in a show, and it was with Thomas Chute. It was Guys and Dolls in 2002. And it was because I had been doing some shows at that point, and she said, I want to see what it's like. I want to see what it's like. What's it all about? So she did the show. She was a doll, one of the mission dolls. And she didn't have any lines or anything. She was just part of the crowd. And when the show was over, she just looked at me and said, well, that was very interesting. I'm never doing that again.
And yet she was an old lady with a walker.
Yes, she was.
The producers.
And she's done other things. She's done announcements here.
Yeah.
But she's much more happier letting the people that are much more comfortable with it, like me, go out and do their thing.
I mean, you know, I have no problem doing house announcements.
We know that.
No problem doing them.
You have cut them back. They used to be 15 minutes long, 20 minutes long.
No, the record is 27 minutes. 27 minutes. And that's because the audience was asking questions.
That's a one act.
I sat down on a chair and they were asking questions. And so I'm gonna be polite.
I really wish we could set up a camera sometime when everything's back to normal. Set up a camera backstage so the audience could see how we're pacing back and forth, like, I just want to get going.
And you know, honestly, we were on track to be really, really good that night. And then some actor backstage put a hook through the doorway.
We're not saying who he is.
So we sat down with our coffee. So just saying, you know, it was all in fun and it was really good. And but here we average, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We have a lot that we talk about.
Well, there's a lot of things going on usually, and we like to prepare the audience for everything.
This coming weekend, Saturday would have been our golf tournament.
Oh, that's our mini golf tournament. Yes.
It would have been our 9th annual golf tournament, and
Yes.
We're
And
really
my
sad.
team had a theme this year.
Well, just save it. We'll
Okay.
do it again. Maybe we'll do it, in the late fall when if things are loosened up enough, we can maybe do it, because we have a bunch of raffle baskets all over our office, right,
Yes,
Lori?
yep,
They're scattered everywhere
yep.
that we need to put into the raffle for the golf tournament. So
Well, one of the highlights of that mini golf tournament is seeing how John Poulin dressed up.
it's true. It's true. Today was the Landmark Community Theater golf tournament.
Oh, they had it today.
They
too.
did.
Yes.
They did, because it's outside. The event is
Right.
outside, so you can.
I hope
do
the weather
events
held
like
out
that.
for them.
I
That's
hope
usually
so,
a big
too.
fundraiser for them.
It's
They usually do very, very well with that.
Yeah, it's a great event.
Mm.
It's a great event. So, some things are out there, but,
Yeah, but not everything.
so let's bring our guest on.
We should definitely bring our
We
guest
should do
on.
that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to,
There's the music.
now in his 35th year as Greater Waterbury's favorite AM radio host, Tom Chute offers daily doses of great humor, contests, lifestyles, and news interviews with surprise guests. Tom is legendary for his good works in the community and successful longevity at WATR morning host. Renowned actor, director, performer on stage, radio, and television, Tom has directed productions all over the region, including Seven Angels Theater, the Warner Theater, and Southington Community Theater. Tom, are you there with us?
So you're bringing it there. He's coming in.
He's coming in. There
There
he is.
Tom
Tom
Chute. And unmute yourself.
Mute.
There
I'm
you go.
here.
Unmute. How
Can you
are
hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now, Tom.
Good. Hi, guys. I was going to sign on for safety's sake with one of these, but I realized you are far enough away, so we're good.
Yeah, I think
We're good.
We have that safety screen between us.
Yes.
That's right.
How are you, Tom?
I am fine, thank you. How are you?
We're doing good. This has been a crazy 4 months or so. How has it been for you over at the station? I imagine it's changed a way you've done a few things, I should think.
Oh, it's changed, and we've kept the programming, thank God, the same, but we've changed how we operate, especially in the beginning, very frightening going in when there was no traffic on the roads, and many radio stations were separating their crews and putting them in different locations. But I was able to separate, change people's shifts, move some people home, keep the morning team together.
Right.
We have individual offices, and our studios are in different locations. So we did fine, and we did constant super cleaning, etc., as I know you guys have done too. And we managed to stay on the whole time, and people have been wonderful. The response to us staying on the air and being on the air and bringing information to people through the darkest days has been remarkable as far as response from people. So I'm glad we did it, and knock on wood, we have all been healthy, thank goodness.
Mhm. Well, it's times like that your local radio station really plays an important part for the community to not only be the sound that you're still out there and everything is okay, it's not the end of the world, but for all the information that you need to get.
Well, and it's a sense of normalcy, and
Yep.
they trust WHER for a source for the information that they need.
Right.
So, yeah.
35 years morning show?
Yeah, 35 years, 50 years.
When you were
in
5.
50 years. 35 at WATR, and we're still going strong.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Now, you still have in-studio guests from time to time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Well, I have to say, during the COVID, almost every guest has only been, by phone. We have not let anybody in. And recently, we have begun to let people in once in a while with, masks and protection,
Sure.
etc. But we primarily keep still about 99% of the people we interview via the phone, which works the same way for the audience, really. Although we do miss some of that personal interaction. But
Yeah,
some
and
people left them.
that's true. I mean, it's the same thing here where you like seeing the people, you like hearing the people, but not having them in studio changes the dynamics a little bit.
Yeah.
Tom, you've, besides working 5 decades, half a century actually in radio, not that I'm stressing the years too much, you spent a lot of time on stage.
Yes.
Yeah, I
You
have
would-
I have a
you-
I have a
yeah.
short little 42nd Street, Grease, Anything Goes, Nutcrackers, Kiss Me Kate, Annie, and Billy Flynn, my favorite role ever in Landmark Community Theater production of Chicago,
Yeah.
and a whole bunch more. But those are
That's just
some
a couple
highlights.
of highlights.
I love playing Billy Flynn.
That was a role I think you were destined to play. That's your kind of role, I think.
I would like to play it again before I'm too old and forget all the words.
Right. You recently posted a picture on Facebook
Uh-oh.
that, yeah, you should say, I think it was the 16-year-old you performing.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
you know,
Somebody found me photos backstage as a young, skinny guy. Yeah.
16-year-old. What were you doing?
Was that backstage at the Miss Connecticut pageant or the Miss Southern?
I think you're right. I think that's what it was. Yes.
I used to MC a lot of the pageants, and it was quite advantageous for me being a young guy to meet all these beautiful young ladies. But at any rate, I would MC and sing and tell jokes and do all that stuff. And I met some great people. And somebody uncovered, Bob Dorr actually found some of these old photos backstage at the old State Theater.
Oh, my.
And it was just so great to see him. I shared it. It was fun to see.
The State Theater was that across from the Palace?
It was across from the Palace. Beautiful old theater.
Yeah, I remember it.
Now it's been
Tom,
gone a long time.
You probably heard us talking about having the performance gene in your blood. Were you always a performer, you think?
I think so. I can recall my first show. I was in 5th grade and I played Johnny Appleseed. And I think I still recall one of the songs. But yes, I played Johnny Appleseed and enjoyed it very much. And from then on, it was just keep doing. My name is Johnny Appleseed, and I keep. So I just kept going after that, and grew into more and more performing, and then directing and performing. And I still take turns. This year's been weird because I haven't done any. Well, none of us have done any of that, and it's sad that you can't perform, sing, hang out together, produce, theater and stuff like that. And we all have various friends who are also doing it professionally, and they've been hurt terribly by this. So it's been a rough time for performance. And sometimes you just want to sing, you just want to act, you want to tell a joke, So my wife's getting pretty bored.
Yeah.
So how did you get into broadcasting? How did that come about?
I was in high school, and I was doing a lot of theater and music, and I was also doing, taking classes in journalism and public speaking and all kinds of things, and about to go to college. And somebody said to me, "You should get into this broadcasting business because you're black." I was like a male soprano, see, and then suddenly, overnight, I became a baritone. And somebody said, "You should go into broadcasting," and I did it. And I've been doing it since I was 15 years old. My first job, I got paid $2 an hour.
$2 an hour.
Wow.
And I can tell you guys that for some reason, that $2 an hour, I think went further than all the dough I'm making now. Yeah, that's when $2 was $2.
You could get a lot with $2 back then. You could buy like 10 comic books.
I used to ride my bike to the radio station because back then there was a radio station in every town. Mine was in Southington. I rode my bike there. From then on, I just kept doing it. I've done it all my whole life.
And in the family, were you always a performer as far as like the getting the attention of the siblings and the parents?
Yes, people would ask me to sing for them and perform for them and do skits for them. My cousins and my aunts and uncles, and I would. I guess it just came naturally. And then once I began to act and then direct, I really began. Of course, I've always loved music, and I'm not really from my direct family is not musical, but I had an uncle who was musical. I had a brother who was a drummer, so there was something in our blood that made us want to be performers.
Were you exposed a lot to music growing up?
Yes, I think we had a lot of good music here. My parents actually had records they saved that were the old 78, RPM. We would play
Sure.
those, the Mills Brothers, etc. And then we would have, of course, my brother was a huge Beatles fan. Michael was a huge Beatles fan. I listened to the Beatles. My brother Eddie, who's a lot older than me, Eddie, was a big fan of Elvis, etc. So I had a great array of music in my house.
And that makes a difference, I think, when you're starting up. If you're exposed to all that kind of stuff, that tends to lead you more in an outgoing fashion, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think it
I
was.
mean, my household was different. My dad listened to country western music when he was at home. My mom would put on her Broadway shows, but we were outside playing. We weren't allowed to get outside.
Those are the great days. You'd get home from school, you'd have to put on your play clothes, go outside and play. And
Yeah,
make
you're
your
not
homework
allowed to
is
stay
done.
outside.
Well, I mean, for us boys, my mom was very good. There were 4 boys, and my mom was very good at having us do all the housework. So she'd make a list, and she'd split it up as to who's doing what room, and you're dusting, and you're cleaning, and you're vacuuming. And then one of us each week would get the choice of using Dad's stereo and play whatever record we wanted to.
You were
while
lucky. We weren't allowed to touch that. No, one Saturday a month at our house was cleaning day for the kids.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was top to bottom, washing walls, doing all that.
But when we're doing this, we're singing along with the records, and I think that kind of wears on you. As far as I go, as far as being outward, I'm the youngest. I'm the baby of the 4. I had to do something to get attention, and I think that's what led me on to being happy to perform anytime I could.
So Tom was awarded the inaugural Brass Button Award, which honors individuals of Greater Waterbury area for their lifelong commitment to social and cultural commitment.
That was
Congratulations.
Yes, that
on
had to be a
that.
heck of an honor.
Also the winner of the Book of Golden Deeds Award from the Waterbury Exchange Club. There's always,
He's
I have to tell you, there's always something, Tom, that we see that you're doing for the community. I don't think that there's a week that you can go through that we don't see in the paper that you're doing something for some social organization or you're involved in some cause. And I think, like performing, that's kind of a calling. Wouldn't you agree that that's part?
I think so, Ed. I've just been able to blend the radio commitment, the community commitment, and the theater commitment together my whole life, and it's made me so happy to have had this opportunity. But part of my existence is having the opportunity to try to help people, to MC functions for them, to help them promote events, to help them do events, etc. And it's been an honor and a privilege to do so many things. As you know, this year, besides having no performances for any of us, gosh, there were so many things to do this spring I was supposed to help out with, so many nonprofit organizations, and everything was canceled and then moved to fall. And now the things I've said yes to for the fall are being canceled until next year. So it's been a really rough year for nonprofits. I do love helping organizations that help other people. I do love seeing that happen. And it makes me feel good in my heart. And I'm very honored to have been able to do these things. And the awards, of course, are very nice, but that's not why you do it. But truly a nice honor to be thought of in those ways. And I tell people when they call me each year to help out with different functions, do you really want me back again? Aren't you getting tired of me? And they thank God they aren't. But I love to do it. I love to help out. I think I hope that people learn it's a part of your life. It's a great part of your life. It makes your heart feel very good to have helped a lot of people as much as you can, if you have the opportunity.
Well, on behalf of your community, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for being a role model for all of us, for serving as that example. One of our viewers, Casey, has asked if there is a celebrity that has influenced you more than others.
Well, singing wise, perhaps someone like Frank Sinatra. I think Frank would be one person I like to emulate when I sing, especially when I'm singing with a big band. I love a live big band, and I love to sing that material. I love Broadway music, but a lot of folks over the years I've enjoyed. I have to go back to the days when I don't know how many people remember, but in her prime, there was almost nobody who could perform live like Liza Minnelli. If you saw her in concert or in person, she would knock your socks off. I think that school of hard work and also the school of the Frank Sinatra class
Right.
made me a better performer. I found them, among many others, great performers. And of course, the Beatles and others who I liked over the years and still do. But yeah, I think I think their influences helped me. We all know Richard DeRosa, our favorite
Richard,
local coach and musical
God
director. Loved him. And when I first met him, he was working on a show with me, and he said, "Did you ever study voice?" And at that point, I hadn't. And I said, "No, I really haven't studied voice. I just learned to sing by listening to people like Frank Sinatra." And he said to me, "Well, you know what? You don't have to. You don't. However you learned the right technique, so you can get better. And you can grow, and you can do more with it. But what you learned somehow is the right thing. So that was lucky for me. I didn't wreck the voice."
I loved Richard DeRosa. He was such a sweetheart of a guy and an excellent teacher. I have to say, Tom, I've seen you. Obviously, I've seen you. I've worked with you on so many occasions and seen you perform. Nothing seems to make you happier than when getting you in front of a big band like John Mobilio's band. Oh God, so, just that
Harold Zinno's big band. They're a kicking. Hopefully we can again.
Yeah, it's something about having that live musicians behind you. I mean, tape music is good and it keeps it safe, but having that live band go behind you, that's just something else. I couldn't imagine.
Maybe that's a way to get Tom on stage here at Phoenix.
We'll bring a band.
Kind of a big concert. We'll do a big band concert.
The thing about being a singer and performing in front of a 16 or 18-piece big band is they've got their charts and you've got your chart, and you've got to make the mark, and you got to pull them with you and keep an ear on them because they're live, and an ear on yourself. And it's such a great balance of living on the edge. It's very exciting. You just can't take too many liberties. And if you do, you have to make sure they go with you. It's very exciting to do big band, fantastic feeling. And somewhat frightening if you screw up.
When it works, it's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful stuff.
It is. Great stuff. So, Tom, we're going to ask you to hang on with us for a bit because we're going to move on to another segment. We've got another guest coming on. So if you could hang out with us, we'll have you
back for our contest.
Flash off for a second and come back to play jargon gymnastics with us in a bit.
Okay, so I'm leaving you now.
You are for now.
Just for now.
Hang tight.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
But kill your video and your audio. There
you go.
That's a boy.
There's a
Teach
guy.
all
50 years in broadcasting.
That's a half a century.
Wow.
He was my boss. I should put this out there. I worked for WATR for many years as a part-time news announcer. I also worked alongside several of his sports teams. I would be covering it for the newspaper and they would be there. So I spent a lot of time at WATR and it was always a good time. Getting up in the morning, early in the morning. I don't know how he does it.
Getting up early in the morning. I think Lori and I went to WATR together one day, right?
Yeah.
And it was so early.
His show starts at, I think, at 6 o'clock in the morning.
It was so early. We had to be there for like 8 or 9 or something.
Theater people are
so
nice.
Early.
I was very, and I hope he's listening because I was really so pleased when he said yes to joining us on the show. I'm thinking, are we keeping him past his bedtime? So we better move on to the next segment so we can bring Tom back.
Absolutely. It is time for us to visit with King Louie King Louie the 13th. XXI or XIII.
Hello, Louie.
Hello, King
Your
Louie,
Majesty.
Your Majesty.
Oh, how lovely to see you all again.
It's lovely to see you, Your Majesty.
You're looking very dapper today, Your Majesty.
Oh, say again.
You're looking dapper today, Your Majesty.
Thank you. Oh, yes, it's just, I don't leave the bunker very often. So it's not a lot of sunlight on the skin.
Mm-hmm.
And then right before I came on this meeting, I did 15 jumping jacks for just a little glisten.
Nice.
I'm actually kind of surprised by that because I figured you would probably have somebody doing the jumping jacks for you.
No, that is what I meant, and I watched them, but it was exhausting.
Gives him a glisten.
A little Jack, a little person named Jack, and he just jumped around the room for you.
Yes.
Nice.
So, Your Highness, do you have, or Your Majesty, I'm sorry, do you have something to discuss with us today?
I do. In these troubled times, everybody is having a difficult go of it. So I thought I would write down 5 helpful tips for your mental health in this pandemic. Tip number 1, dress for the social life you had, not the social collapse you're escaping. Bathe regularly. Hygiene is still important, even if you don't go anywhere. Comb your hair, brush your teeth. Get dressed in comfortable clothing every day. Try wearing bright colors to trick yourself into being happier. There you go. Pamper yourself with a spa treatment at home, or just slap some oatmeal on your face and just let it dry. You deserve it. Tip number 2, get up and go outside and move around. Step outside into your rolling gardens and your endless fields of purple lilacs. Those flowers are all yours. Take a deep breath, relax. If you don't have rolling gardens, then jog down the street to the Walgreens or the gas station and buy one of those small bouquets. Those are your flowers. You deserve them. Tip number 3, set aside space for you. Remote workers and people who find themselves suddenly remote workers, this goes double for you. Find a space that you are going to set as a non-work zone in your home. In that space, it is only leisure time, no work. It'll help you relax. Now, for me, the very nature of my job means my work is my home. So my home is dedicated to my work. So my 2nd and 3rd and 4th homes are dedicated to my leisure and relaxation. It's important to have barriers. Tip number 4, set aside time for others. Even the most eccentric recluse needs to stay in contact. I can't tell you how many messenger pigeons I've gone through keeping up on court gossip, but I can't fall behind on the machinations of Lady Beauchamp. Tip number 5, set aside time for yourself. Be kind, compassionate, and generous to yourself and to others during these times. Give yourself and others the benefit of the doubt. You're doing a great job, and you're doing the best you can, and good for you. Remember, you are all queens and kings in your own right. Every single one of you. Not like me. I'm a real king, but you're all great. You're all fantastic. You're all the best. Well, there you go. 5 tips to help you get through the mental health of the quarantine.
That's wonderful. That's
King
great
Louie,
advice.
thank you so much. That is great advice. I know it's going to be very helpful for all of our viewers and our studio audience.
Yes, they can go to Walgreens now and get a little.
Grandma has rolling gardens.
Yes,
Lori
she does.
has
Yes.
rolling gardens.
That's true.
They don't have purple flowers in them, but some
No.
purple flowers. They have purple peppers.
Be careful if you step out into the rolling gardens that you keep your footing.
Well, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, that is great advice.
Is it?
The audience is all waving at you, thusly.
Here's
So
the free advice. To do the perfect wave, remember this. Elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, wipe a tear and blow a kiss.
Oh, there you go.
elbow, wrist, wrist, wipe a tear, blow a kiss. Oh, that's great.
That's great. That's so super. It's
Tip.
perfect advice for these days of COVID-19.
Thank you for taking time out of your time to
be with our
be
team.
with us and to share your views of the world and give us such great advice.
Thank
King
you,
Louie.
King Louie.
It is my responsibility to give to the people. Thank you for having me.
Elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, wipe a tear, blow a kiss. There we go.
Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy.
Oh, elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, wipe a tear and blow a kiss. I'll do that while I'm singing Benjamin Franklin. He spent some time in France, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
We have some wacky guests that we bring on this
We
show.
bring the wackiest ones we can.
We do.
Yes, because, you know, it makes us look normal-ish.
Okay.
We set the bar really low, so
I'm just happy that I'm the pretty one.
you are the pretty one. I'm the cantankerous one.
I'm the pretty
old
one.
cranky one.
And I'm salty, apparently. According to our producer, I'm salty.
You're
So
salty?
I am salty.
Has he been licking you again?
You know, he just can't help himself. We get
Oh, we're getting letters. CDC's calling.
yeah. So
I just have to ask these questions.
I think it's time for our game.
I think it's time for our game. And
So
we
we need to
bring Tom.
So we need to
Chute.
bring Tom Chute back. Tom, can you come back and join us, please? There he is again.
There he is.
All right, so now we're going to be playing this game. It's called
Jargon gymnastics.
or jargon gymnastics, depending on whether you're guessing.
Stretch your mind.
And stretch your tongue.
Yes.
You have an opportunity to win some prizes for yourself and two of our studio audience members.
Okay, I'm coming closer. By the way, I'm kind of red compared to you guys, but I was in the pool a lot this week, so you have to.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
nothing else to do.
Yeah. You know, I'm in the sewing room all day.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you have
And
to
that's
come over.
the Chute Lagoon, right?
You'll have to come over to Chute's Lagoon someday and join me for a swim, a float, and a drink.
Oh, absolutely. As long as it's margaritas, I'll be there in a heartbeat.
There we
Well, I
are.
didn't say I was gonna make margaritas, but you know, I'll give you a beer.
Whatever. Yeah, give me a beer. I'm good too.
All right, Tim, are you going to explain the game?
I am going to
Okay.
explain the game. Now, Tom, what we've done is we've taken 3 words from a language, a foreign language, and we've come up with they all obviously have definitions, but we've come up with 3 possible definitions for these words. If you can guess correctly on 2 of the 3 words, you win a prize for yourself and a member of our studio.
2
audience.
members
2
today.
members. of our
Grandma
studio.
and Mrs. Hilpert. Woo, woo.
So there's no pressure.
Grandma and who?
He wins one automatically.
Mrs. Hilpert.
Yes.
Oh, great.
So this is important. Now, I chose this language purposely. I chose Polish for you, Tom,
Oh, thanks.
because of our mutual friend of ours who's long since gone, but Sophie Zimbriski was a dear, dear friend.
Lovely, lovely, lovely
Lovely
Sophie.
woman. She
Yeah.
did a Polish show Sundays, I think, for so many years. Your grandson took it over for a while there, right?
The Zimbriski Polish show went on WATR. The year we went on the air, which was 1938,
Oh
and
my.
stayed on in some form or another until about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, just amazing. And she was
Amazing.
a wonderful, wonderful woman. So we have 3 Polish words. I got to tell you that these have their, fortunately, they put a pronunciation guide next to them because they don't sound anything like they look.
No, they don't.
Okay.
So here's your first word. It's spelled Lis, Lis, and it's pronounced lease. Lease. Is lease, number 1, the Polish word for someone who can't afford to buy his own home? Is it number 2, the Polish word for someone who's a big Liza Minnelli fan?
Ah,
Or is it number 3, a fox?
I am going to say number 3, a box.
That is correct.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Without any help from me.
Okay.
Is a fox.
I'm ready.
That's good. Good start. Your next word is spelled M-A-K, and it's pronounced mock.
Mock.
Mock. Mock.
Mock.
Now, is mock number 1, the tiny seeds found on rolls and bagels, otherwise known as poppy seeds? Number 2, a fake definition used to trick morning radio hosts? Or number 3, how a Polish person living in Boston pronounces Mark Wahlberg's first name?
Mac.
Mac.
Oh, I'm going to say 1. Number 1.
That is correct. It is. I'm surprised you didn't go for the Mark Wahlberg.
Mac.
Mac. But
You
it is.
know, I was close to number 3. I really was.
Oh, okay. But it is poppy seeds. Okay. You've already won, but we're going to go for the clean sweep here. Your last word is spelled R-A-J, and it's pronounced rye. Is rye, number 1, a Polish bread famous for having a lot of mac on it? Number 2, a little Polish lie. Mish maple.
Mish maple.
Why you rye? Or number 3, the Polish word for paradise.
Oh, I am going to say number 2.
A little Oh, wait. The audience is trying to push you towards a different direction.
They are.
Hooray!
The audience is saying 3.
That's what the audience is saying.
Do I get to play with the audience?
If you want, if you trust them.
Are they
You
all
kind of
saying
Polish.
3?
Number 3. That is correct. It is the Polish word for paradise.
Thank you,
That's it.
audience. Thank you.
Wow,
Wow,
thank you, audience.
congratulations. So let's tell them what he won.
You won a prize. For you and 2 of our studio audience members, you've won a custom Take Flight with Phoenix Stage Company COVID-19 mask and a Phoenix Stage Company Theater Strong band. Thank you for playing and congratulations. Yeah, we're going to get those out to you. We'll give them out to our audience members as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Tom Chute, it has been an absolute joy having you on our show.
Absolute.
And
Guys, I have had a great time. You have been, of course, we've been friends for many, many years,
oh yeah.
friends and acquaintances. And for many years, we talked about my showing up someday on the stage at the Phoenix Stage Company. And I so hope we can do that soon. And I want to thank you for the invitation. It was so much fun, you and your crew. A pleasure and your live audience. And it's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much.
I was honored to be asked.
Bye-bye, Tom. Take care of yourself. See you, ladies and gentlemen. We go back a long way.
You go back a long way because
Lori was actually.
you're both older than me.
That's true. Lori actually knew him before. I think she knew him before she knew me. She was a listener to WATR before we started dating.
Wow.
So, and she always took pride in the fact that she shares her birthday with Tom's daughter, Courtney.
Oh,
Not the year, because that would be awkward.
that would be weird.
That would be weird since Lori is
His daughter would be older than him.
But it was August 26th. Yeah, they share the same birthday. So I always know when Courtney's birthday is coming up.
Yeah. You know we're going to get in trouble after we're off the air today.
What's
because
that?
several times today our producers made faces at us.
Oh, he
and
was
done
running things.
done the oh my God
Whoa.
thing. He's gonna really get on us.
Oh well,
So-
we're used to it.
Yeah. So listen, we need to share some good news.
We
today.
do. This is a new segment we started last week. That in these times of trial, we like to find something interesting, something good that's happening out in the world.
It's true.
Would you like to go first?
I
this time?
will go first, and it's not about an egg with 2 yolks. I'm sorry, Lori.
Oh.
She thought maybe I would share some.
It
It is
Yeah,
good
that's true.
news. Now I do have some fresh chicken eggs at home. Those are the ones that are going to have the 2 yolks. I think more than the ones I bought at the store.
Mhm.
I did have some bad news this weekend. I had eggs in my refrigerator and they were too far back in the refrigerator. The refrigerator was turned up
froze?
high and they froze. And I was trying to
Oh,
make eggs for breakfast, Grandma, and my eggs were frozen.
That's a sad
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Especially if you're in a mood for those eggs too.
It's true, but my good news for today, a Massachusetts-based nonprofit called Brides Across America is giving away wedding gowns to healthcare heroes in communities around the country.
That's awesome.
I think it's great. Brides Across America, known for giving away wedding dresses to military women and first responders, has expanded now. They broadened the group to serve healthcare professionals who continue working to save the COVID-19 victims.
That's great.
I
Because you know,
think
if
that
you're
is
working,
awesome.
those healthcare workers have been slammed
Slammed.
for the last 4 months, really.
It's true.
And if you're planning a wedding, and obviously you can't have the big wedding that you were hoping for, but people have found ways to have their weddings.
Yeah.
You don't have the time to go out to shop for a wedding dress. And here's this lovely lady, I guess, and her company that are finding these they're
Brides Across
donating.
America. So you can do a search, and they're Massachusetts based. So if you know of a healthcare worker or a military woman or first responder that is in need of a
Need of
wedding
a
dress,
dress.
you can look them up. And if you're in our area and you happen to be a man in need of a tuxedo for a wedding, please contact Phoenix Stage Company. We have so many tuxedos, and we'd be happy to help you out and outfit you for your special day.
Which is
You can
also
look
good.
us up on www.phoenixstagecompany.org, and we'd be happy to help you out with your special day.
That's also good news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great news.
Yeah.
What's your good news, Tim? Wait, let me put on. Hold on. I gotta,
Okay.
Yep, I got to get it to you.
I found this one online when you're searching for things, and it was just a little thing that sort of happened and snowballed into a bigger thing. Now, have you ever heard the concept of paying it forward?
Yes.
It's a concept I truly believe in. If somebody does something nice to you, you should go ahead and pay it forward and do something nice for somebody else. Well, at this Mexican restaurant called a Taco Sombrero in Mississippi, they started this. A customer at the drive-through window paid it forward for the next person, and it continued on for 79 customers. They paid for the person behind them.
That's awesome.
That warmed my heart. Can you imagine that?
You know, I did one day. I was driving to the theater and I was going through the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through in Thomaston, and someone in front of me paid for my coffee. And I paid for the person behind me.
Yes.
I have no idea how long that went, but it was a nice thing. I thought that was a really, really nice
A
thing.
quote from the cashier said, at first we were kind of shocked. We thought it would be just 5 cars maybe, and I would be shocked if it got past that. But then it just kept going, and we were like, whoa. Then one guy paid for a $40 order, and we were like, whoa, some people are really nice. There are nice people out there.
There are nice people out in the
I
world.
just think it's great because the look. I have done this on occasion, and then you kind of look in your mirror to see like, do they see? But sometimes I just want to keep going. I don't want to know. I don't want to know who it is. I just when I do it, I always say, please tell them that I'd like them to do it as well. And it doesn't have to be at that drive-in. Just do it somewhere else. A little random act of kindness. It goes a long way, especially in these days.
It goes a long way.
So that was just a heartwarming story I ran into, and it just really made me feel good. I love that kind of stuff.
And if anyone out there, if you have good news stories that you'd like to share with us that maybe we can put on the air with us here when we're doing our podcast, you can send them along to info@phoenixstagecompany.org. Or if you know our producer, Michael, you can just text him a lot.
Yes.
Really,
He
likes those really long texts that
Yes.
just keep going and going and going.
And I'm sure he's flashing the number on the screen right now, right?
He is.
No, he's shaking his head.
Are you shut you guys off?
I think we got muted. Read my lips. Here's the number.
So listen, it's time, Michael. We have to talk about what's next, and we have to thank our sponsors. So what's next, Tim?
Next week, we're in August, and we're going to be talking about beginnings, and we're going to have one of the founders of Phoenix Stage Company, and one of the founders, but one of the other founders, Agnes Dan, will be joining us to talk about the beginnings.
Yes, and it'll be great to have you here. And our friend Lydia will be back.
Lydia will be back.
Louie.
Yay.
So Take Flight Live with Phoenix Stage Company is sponsored by
Black Hog Brewing Company.
Oxford, Connecticut, out by the airport. They're opening their grotto
See you
tomorrow.
guys
at 3 o'clock.
tomorrow.
Also, Sierra Ridge Media Arts and Deb Cryan, also from Naugatuck, Connecticut. Thank you, Deb Cryan and Sierra Ridge, for your sponsorship of Phoenix Stage Company and our program. You can always make a donation at any time to support your local community theater at phoenix-stage-company.square.site.
Right. And you can subscribe to our channel by going to
Right? Just push the subscribe button under your screen.
that button right there. See it? Go ahead, touch it. You don't mind.
Subscribe. You don't mind. Do it. Do it.
If you don't have a touch screen,
This has
it's
been
kinda
great
useless.
fun this week, Tim.
It has been a lot of fun.
And to all of you in our studio audience, thank you for
Thank you
being
all.
here. Say goodnight, Tim.
Good night, Tim.
Goodbye, everyone. See you next time.